This film speaks a lot to me about what bravery is, which is not the absence of fear. It's being terrified and doing it anyway. When we find someone distasteful, or when we find someone frightening, that's where we see what we're really made of. And I look at this stink spirit, and she just shows love.
Open the main gates. Make way.
There are things that we don't think we're capable of that, well, we very much are. You never know what you are able to do when you have no other choice. And it is true that our hardships can refine us. I think she's meant to illustrate the virtues that the film is trying to promote. So often her motivations are, even when she's afraid, there's someone in need.
Haku helped me before. Now I want to help him.
With a Ghibli film, you're going on a journey, but there's something to be said for all the ambiguity. And what it means to you, I think what you bring to it is what it means to you. She's actually a hero. Chihiro.
Oh, I knew it was coming. Still hurt. Hello and welcome to Cinema Therapy. I'm Alan Seawright, a professional filmmaker who needs therapy, and that is...
Jonathan Decker, licensed therapist who loves movies. What are we doing today?
I'm going to take you down a rabbit hole into a dreamscape full of weird goop monsters and soot sprites and rice cakes.
We're going Ghibli.
Yep. We're gonna watch Spirited Away.
Man, this is such a trip of a movie.
I love this film, and I couldn't possibly explain why. So yeah, this is written and directed by Hayao Miyazaki, our king, our Lord Ruler.
Yes.
He is the greatest. I don't know what the hell this movie's about.
No, and I've watched it, and I don't know what it's about.
I've watched it multiple times.
I mean, there is a plot, but it's the most dreamlike film I've ever watched, and that includes Inception, which is about dreams.
Correct.
So for those who haven't seen the film, little girl and her parents are going to their new house.
Moving to a new village.
Moving to a new village, and they take a wrong turn, stumble upon a building. So they're wandering through, and then things just get interesting.
The wind's pulling us in.
What is it?
Come on, let's go in. I want to see what's on the other side.
I'm not going. It gives me the creeps.
Don't be such a scaredy cat, Chihiro. Let's just take a look.
The movers will get to our house before we do.
So Chihiro being afraid of this was me.
All right, just a...
Until about age 14, I was scared of everything.
Come on, you guys. Let's get out of here.
Come on, honey, it'll be fun.
I'm not going.
I love that the dad is... Whoa.
Chihiro, just wait in the car then.
But Mom!
I love that the dad is drawn and built like a dad.
Yep.
He dresses like a dad.
You said just a quick look. Now let's go back.
Oh, what a beautiful place. We should have brought our lunch, then we could have had a picnic.
I feel like there's a message of the film, though, that the parents are not really afraid of anything. They're exploring it with a type of childlike wonder, and she's the wary one.
Yeah.
And she should be wary.
Hey, you smell that?
And for their lack of
Delicious.
caution,
Yeah, and I'm starving.
Maybe this thing
They pay a price, yeah.
Let's go.
Chihiro.
a really creepy price.
Super weird. Again, this was me, scared to do everything.
But she's scared to go down this tunnel. She's scared right there to go from one rock to another in a 3-inch stream.
Yeah.
You know, this tiny little stream. We're going to see some growth here. And I do think you look at this film and there's so many things, so many directions you could take this thematically, but I see it as, how do you thrive when you're afraid?
That's the strongest through line I got, was sort of overcoming childish and childhood fears, which is weird to say in a movie that features literal, actual monsters.
Mm-hmm. Well,
those aren't childish, but I mean, the monsters all represent other things that, you know, we kind of, as kids, we monsterize things, right?
Yeah. I mean, there's duplicitous adults. There's, you know, losing people that you care about. There's doing chores that you don't want to do, which is about the scariest thing that can happen when you're a kid. Mm-hmm. I mean, not literally, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. This episode is sponsored by Kamikoto Knives. These knives are made with high-quality Japanese steel using traditional handcrafting techniques. Kamikoto builds on the legacy of over 800 years of Japanese technology and expertise in handcrafting each of these fantastic chef's knives. And each knife goes through a rigorous 19-step process that takes several years from start to finish to complete. Not only that, but Kamikoto approaches customer service with the Japanese spirit of omotenashi, or selfless hospitality, much like Chihiro with the gross, slimy river spirit. She didn't chop it up with a knife. That wouldn't be hospitable. Each knife is individually inspected and comes with a lifetime guarantee. The knives come in a heavy-duty ash wood box, which makes it a great gift for someone who likes knives or ash wood boxes. These knives are used by Michelin star chefs all over the world, and I have it on good authority, at bathhouses for spirits. So Kamikoto wanted to record my first reaction to using these knives, and as a fantastic home cook, you're in for a treat. We're gonna attack a pepper. Oh, whoa, holy crap. Cuts through peppers like a hot knife through butter. Let's attack an onion with a ton of paper on it. Okay. Kamikoto has several special offers going on right now and is offering our viewers an additional $50 off if they use our promo code CINEMA50 at kamikoto.com/cinema50. Like slash like with a knife, but only for you slash your vegetables.
She's trying to get a job so she can get out of this place and save her parents who've been turned into pigs. Look at those stairs, man.
And look, that's a scary staircase for sure.
There's no handrails.
But like, I have like, I can feel this. Like, I was this scared of heights.
Oh yeah.
Like, doing this, like, this is a thing that I did. I remember what it feels like being, 6 and 7 and doing that.
And how she closes her eyes and gathers her courage to even... I was watching this with my kids, and this bit right here, I was so invested in her fear.
Oh, it's such a great bit of physical comedy after all of that tension and buildup. It's so good.
It's weird because you're laughing, but you're also scared for her.
Yeah.
And you feel that fear for her.
Well, yeah. I don't know if everybody has this experience with this movie, but it connected with me on, not sort of an intellectually satisfying level. Because again, it's bananas. This movie's kind of nonsense.
Yeah.
But on a gut level, I just felt like this is my movie.
I feel like with Ghibli, it's more of a presentation, and it's kind of like one of those ink blots that
Take what you will. Yeah.
I mean, this is true for art in general, but it's especially true for these films because they refuse to say, here's the meaning of this.
Right.
You're left to, what does it mean for you? And I'm starting a Ghibli journey with Cinema Therapy. This is only my second Ghibli film.
Oh, yeah. These are the only two you've
I've
seen.
done Totoro, and now I've done Spirited Away.
Oh.
Yeah, I know.
There's good stuff coming.
But my observation with both of those is you're brought in to just kind of exist in the space.
Yeah, the world is very much whole and complete, and it's not explained to you at all. It's just like you're just thrust into it. It's like, here, exist in here for now.
Please, can't you give me a job?
Don't start that again. Don't say that.
Oh, this
So
Why in the world do you think
weird
I
and
should give you a
terrifying.
job? Anyone can see you're lazy, spoiled.
what type of
crybaby, and
genius
you
minds
have
come up
no
with this sort of
manners.
design?
This is a high-class place I'm running here.
But this feels like something a child would
No
dream.
job
Yeah.
for you. Now get out. I've got all the lazy bums I need.
What am I afraid of? I'm afraid of losing my parents. I'm afraid of adults being mean to me.
Difficult job.
I'm afraid that getting a job is just going to be a weird, torturous thing.
And then I won't have... Oh, gosh. And then her eye... Look how big her eyes are.
Just her whole head.
The baby.
Like her head is the size of the rest of her body.
We never get an explanation for the baby.
Why does she have a giant baby? Why does she have 3 green heads that bounce around?
No. Why are you still here? I told you to leave.
I want you to give
quiet down. You're scaring the baby. Sweetie, don't be angry.
With the wood in her hair. Come on.
Good.
Oh, it's so great.
I'm not leaving till
I
you
just-
give me a job.
There's so much amazing detail in here that I can't even.
Here comes
I'm, like, overwhelmed.
Mommy. I'm coming to get you.
And that simple piano, I mean, that's the type of thing that's unsettling for a child, you know, just.
Yeah.
But just the notion, I love. This is a girl who, not long ago, was having a hard time crossing a little stream.
It's your contract.
But now her
Sign your
parents
name away.
are in jeopardy. Her future's in jeopardy. She'll do whatever she has to do.
Yeah.
You know? And I do think that speaks to a sort of resilience of there are things that we don't think we're capable of that, well, we very much are. It's generally that we're not willing or not wanting to, but you never know what you are able to do when you have no other choice.
Right. Well, and she was told, you know, whatever happens, she's going to try to
Scare you,
manipulate you, whatever. Just keep asking for a job.
Yeah.
So she does. She sticks to her gun. She's persistent in the face of things that would be like traumatic for a kid.
Yeah. Therapeutically speaking, it's called upsetting the system, right? You have to, when their lives are out of balance, when things are uncomfortable, when they're in pain or when they're afraid, is actually the best time to effect change. Which isn't to say that you should terrify people or bully them into change. That actually doesn't work. I'm just talking about circumstances. A lot of people, they won't make personal changes until their marriage is on the line. Right? It's like when you go see your doctor and you never thought that you could change your eating habits, and your doctor says, if you don't, you're going to have a heart attack. And then suddenly you find that gear.
Yeah, generally speaking, the only reason you make a change in your life is when the pain of making the change becomes less than the pain of not making the change.
Right. And in her case, it's been easier for her to be afraid because she's had parents to take care of her.
Yeah.
It's been easier for her to be cautious and to not take risks or to not stand up and be brave because she hasn't had to. Now, if she doesn't, she's going to die and her parents are going to stay pigs.
Right.
You know, and so therapeutically, that's exactly what you're saying. The pain of making the change is now less than the pain of staying the same.
Yeah. So I am just now realizing I was terrified of like everything. I had night terrors, all of this stuff until I was 14 and I had a really traumatic incident that my parents could not protect me from.
Yeah.
It was such a traumatic thing that like nothing else seemed scary anymore.
You know, trauma can lead into PTSD symptoms, and it can lead us to be more afraid and more petrified. Or we can say, well, I survived that.
Guess nothing matters. Here we go.
Yeah, well, you know, everything has helped shape who you are today.
Yep.
So you being you is a good thing in my eyes.
Thanks, man.
Did we just become best friends?
Yup!
So I
Here are
wanted
your
to
clothes.
talk with
Hide
you
them.
about the significance. This is a
thought they'd been
really
thrown
interesting
away.
scene.
You'll need them to get home.
My goodbye card's still here. Chihiro. Chihiro. That's my name, isn't it?
That's how Yubaba controls you, by stealing your name. So hold on to that card, keep it hidden, and while you're here, you must call yourself Sen.
I can't believe I forgot my name. She almost took it from me.
If you completely forget it, you'll never find your way home. I've tried everything to remember mine.
Man, there's some depth
You
there.
can't remember your name?
No, but for some reason I remember yours.
So I really wanted to ask you,
Yeah.
psychologically, because this feels really real, right? Especially in the context of the movie, but psychologically, is there truth to like controlling people by taking away their name or their identity? Or...
Yeah, I mean, I think name here is symbolic of identity. I think most people, no matter what they go through, aren't in danger of forgetting their actual name,
Right.
You know? But forgetting who you are or losing who you are, especially in an abusive relationship, which is what she has with Yubaba,
For sure.
who is, you know, on the one hand, is her caretaker and looks out for her, but for very selfish reasons and doesn't treat her well.
Right.
Is to understate it. But the idea of, I can control somebody if I can get them to forget who they are or who they wanted to be. That happens so often in abusive relationships. So many people I've met with in therapy who they ended an abusive relationship and they said, I'm remembering who I was.
Right.
I had lost that. What mattered to me, my confidence, my skills, my talents, my abilities, my joys, had all been swallowed up in living for and serving this other person who treated me poorly and trying to win their approval and changing the way I think, changing the way I talk, the way I act to win their approval and never quite getting it. Taking someone's identity is a form of abuse, and it is a way to control them. Because if you don't stand up for yourself if there's no self to stand up for. You know,
Okay.
You don't fight for yourself if there's no self to fight for. And I love that he's
Can't
reminding
be a friendly
her.
neighborhood Spider-Man if there's no neighborhood to
Yeah,
go to.
yeah. I can't live for me if there's no me.
Right.
And he's reminding her, okay, yeah, you're Yubaba's servant for right now. Don't let that define you. That's not who you really are.
Right.
But you learn a lot about how bathhouses work watching this, you know?
Yeah, really valuable bathhouse
Education.
education.
I do want to. I did a mud bath in Vietnam. That was
Have you ever been to a Japanese bathhouse?
no,
Oh, they're great.
but I want to do all these scented baths that they have
Yeah.
with the oils and the different things they use.
Dude, it's a whole experience.
Oh gosh. Oh, I can't even look at it. Oh. Like it's stinky breath and everything. Oh! But to your point, she's now in this place of doing whatever needs to be done.
Yeah.
And there's this beautiful thing about Chihiro's character, which is that she is kind and compassionate to people, to monsters that are
Everyone,
scary or monsters that are
unfailingly.
disgusting, or people that treat her poorly. Oh, did we not see when it's finally clean?
Oh, no. The old man face on the weird water dragon. What is this movie?
Again,
What the hell?
But yeah, just the resilience of what are her motivations? Sometimes it's to survive, and other times it's to help.
Yeah,
you know?
clearly here, this is not a survival thing. This is just this guy needs help.
Yeah.
This big, sludgy, gooey mess needs help.
But I look at her, and so often her motivations are, even when she's afraid, there's someone in need.
Sure.
And that she's going to step up and act. And that's one thing I did like, even though the story was kind of all over the place, and not in an unpleasant way, but like a dream is all over the place,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Like, just things just happen.
No,
And
it all felt right. Like most movies that are disjointed and weird like that, they feel disjointed and weird.
Yeah.
This one's disjointed and weird, and every single scene transition, you're like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay, I'll go with that.
Yeah.
It's probably because they established pretty early on that anything goes, and then you just kind of roll with it. What I enjoyed when I watched this with my kids is Chihiro is someone they could look up to who, even when you're afraid, do the right thing,
Right.
you know? And
be kind.
Well, and be kind, and especially, you know, there are people that other people think they're disgusting, you know? It's easy when we find someone attractive, or we find someone pleasant, or we find someone, but when we find someone distasteful, or when we find someone frightening,
Yeah.
that's where we see what we're really made of. And I look at this stink spirit, and she just shows love. And she's actually a hero. I mean, she really
yeah.
is. Chihiro.
Oh, I knew it was coming. Still hurt. So she has grown so much that she's gone from unable to go downstairs to save her own life, or nearly unable to go downstairs to save her own life, to
And now she's Tony Jaa. And
to help a friend.
yeah.
She can freaking parkour her way across breaking pipes.
Oh my gosh.
Man, the art. Like, the animation is great. It gives you a lot of character and everything, but the art, the backgrounds, the paintings,
Yeah.
it's just beautiful.
The way her toes curl when she's climbing the ladder. You know, there's
Yeah.
all the tiny little details.
So much detail.
Well, and also, one thing I really like that I've noticed about Ghibli films is you're afraid when you're supposed to feel afraid.
Yes, very much so.
You know? Which you would think, this is animated and it's such a fantastical world that I can't really take any of it seriously and I'm just along for the ride. But when she's scared, you're scared for her. Mm-hmm. You know, when she hugs that ladder when she gets there. This film speaks a lot to me about what bravery is, which is not the absence of fear.
Right.
It's being terrified and doing it anyways.
Doing it anyway. We're patronizing middle-aged men. Go to patreon.com/cinematherapy and check out the cool bonus content if you want to patronize us instead of The other way around.
Try this. It's delicious.
Oh gosh.
Oh, no face.
What's up? I'm not giving it to anybody
this
else.
my arachnophobia was triggered with several things in this movie.
Come closer, Sen. What would you like? Just name it.
I would like to leave, sir. I have someplace I need to go to right away.
This is a spirit that's been gorging itself and giving
You
gold to
forgot
people.
where you came from. Yubaba doesn't want you in the bathhouse any longer. Where is your home? Don't you have any friends or family?
But now she is facing this thing that's eaten people
Yep.
fearlessly, but also with compassion. It's not a, I'm gonna kick your ass type of fearlessness.
No.
I want Sen. I want Sen.
Take the gold. Take it.
Are you going to eat me?
Take it.
Sure.
Ooh.
Huh?
If you want to eat me, eat this first.
So this weird little
I was saving this
gerbil
for my
and
parents, but I think you'd better have it.
so she gives the thing that she's gonna use to save her parents. She gives it to this weird spirit that's being creepy because she's just so
Oh, man,
compassionate. And this is so gross. So gross.
Oh gosh, why? Why are we watching the vomit scene?
Because I wanted to make you feel that.
Poor little guys. Yeah, that is objectively a terrifying image.
Yeah.
Enough. I don't care if he's rich. This nonsense has got to stop.
Amiha!
The look on her face.
Oh,
Oh, it's so
we'd
gross.
like to go to Swamp Bottom, please.
So he, chases her and she kind of gets away and then she's going to get on the train
Oh, you want to come with us?
and he's,
He'd like to come too, please.
Doing much better now that he's away from the bathhouse.
now that he's away from the bathhouse and she gave him the seed that was going to heal her parents, he's back to just sort of mumbly no face.
But lots of, there's so many different little like warnings about excess, warnings about greed. Both he and the people who were serving him paid a huge price for their greed.
Yep.
There's definitely you can't treat people poorly just because you're rich.
That's the thing. Thematically, this movie has literally, it feels like Hayao Miyazaki was just like, here's 37 different things I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
How can I fit all of them into one
all the
weird
social
dream
commentary.
movie?
And not to debase yourself in the pursuit of money.
Right.
Because Chihiro is literally the only one who didn't
Yeah.
want the gold, didn't make compromises for the gold. The more we watch it and talk about it, I think the point of this movie is be like Chihiro.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. I think she's meant to illustrate the virtues that the film is trying to promote.
Yeah.
And then everybody else is kind of a warning against everything else.
For the most part, yeah.
In which case, the theme of the film is you face your fears by being a moral person, and that's how you find your courage. Because she doesn't yield to greed. She maintains her compassion. She is terrified and she does the hard things anyways. She makes sacrifices for others, but she also is looking out for herself and trying to get back to her life. Like, there's a lot here, but it all ties back to that.
Yep.
See if you can tell which of these pigs is your mother and father. You get one try. If you get it right, you can all go home.
I don't understand how that's fair.
Oh, the spider mustache man.
I love that guy. Kamaji?
His arms just extend and stuff.
So weird.
There must be a mistake. None of these pigs are my mom or dad.
None of them? Is that really your answer?
Is that your final answer? Would you like to phone a friend?
Oh, you got
I just have to say, Japanese game shows make so much more sense.
All right, you win. Get out of my sight.
Thanks for everything, Granny.
Thanks for everything, Granny. Why is she being so kind to this horrible, creepy witch?
Well, she meets her sister, and I get why she's kind to her, because the sister is delightful.
She's lovely. I mean, lovely for a person whose head is as big as her body, and head is mostly made of wrinkles. Not physically lovely. You get it. You know what I'm saying.
When she says thank you for everything, it makes me think of how powerful a virtue gratitude is.
Right.
And not just for the good things. I mean, definitely for the good things. There's a lot of people who are just kind of entitled. But being grateful for the hardships, you know?
That's like next level gratitude. You've leveled up. If you can be grateful for hardships, you are an exceptional person who is doing things right.
It's very similar to like weight training. You don't build muscle without resistance. You know? And you don't... I hate the phrase build character because it sounds like such a dad thing to say, but here we are. But you don't become a person of integrity and kindness and compassion and decency. If life is easy, it's hard to be that way.
Yeah, generally you don't get to that without going through some shit.
And in fact, if you look at her at the beginning, she is not a spoiled brat child by a long shot, but she's kind of self-absorbed.
Sure.
She's in the back seat. It's all about her discomfort, what she wants to do, what she doesn't want to do.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to move to this new home. And now because she went into this spirit world, she's more than happy to go to this new village where things don't try to kill you.
Sure, yeah.
You know? And she has that perspective. And now that she lost her parents for a while, she's very happy to have them back instead of just being like, oh my gosh, my parents and the things they make me do. And it is true that our hardships can refine us. And I had this experience recently. I'm a higher power person, so I was talking with my higher power and I was just expressing gratitude for a lot of things that were not pleasant and I did not like them, but I realized they've helped me to get to a place where I actually like myself more because of the growth I experienced. You know, that I look in the mirror and instead of being all insecure and full of self-loathing, I'm like, hey, it's that guy I like.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
I told you we shouldn't have stopped.
Leaving different than she came in.
Come on, Chihiro. Let's get to our new home.
Before they were begging her, they were trying to get her to...
Don't be afraid, honey. Everything's gonna be okay.
Don't be afraid. Everything's gonna be okay.
And she carries no fear. Have you ever gone to a place or had an experience that you were afraid to start?
A new home and a new school? It is a bit scary.
I think I can handle it.
You ever gone to a new place or started a new something or other that you were scared to do and then it was done, you were sad to leave it?
Oh, all the time.
You know?
Yeah, all the time that happens.
And it's funny to me because she did make friends, but it's not like her journey was exactly a pleasant one.
No.
Or that she was living it up.
Right.
And yet she's still sad to see it go because she has left changed.
Yes.
You know? And I find it telling at the beginning, she doesn't want to go in the tunnel, and now she's standing there unafraid staring at it. You know?
You know, it's a little bit ambiguous, and I think the filmmakers left it that way on purpose, but it's a little bit ambiguous what she's feeling as she's staring at that tunnel. Like, am I sad to leave? Am I happy to leave? Do I want to go?
Yeah.
There's a lot there, and there's a lot to think about. And I think they left it ambiguous because different people are going to have different, you know, reactions to it.
Yeah. I'm digging the Ghibli journey, man.
It's great.
And I say this even as someone who I'm a major fan of the Disney and the Pixar and the DreamWorks films that we watch that have very clear messaging.
Sure.
You know, and I don't think that's wrong. I don't think that's a lesser form of storytelling. It has definite power. But there's something to be said for all the ambiguity. With a Ghibli film, you're going on a journey, and what it means to you, I think what you bring to it is what it means to you. You know?
Yeah.
So what should we watch next, Ghibli fans?
Put it in the comments below. Are we going Howl's Moving Castle?
Ponyo?
Kiki's Delivery Service? You tell us in the comments what's our next Studio Ghibli film.
So until next time, I'm not gonna leave until you give me a job!
I want Sen! I want Sen!
And
watch movies. Weird ones. Incomprehensibly strange movies. Watch those.